Okay, mom burnout. This is what it can look like sometimes.
You just woke up your sister from her nap. I'm feeling so overwhelmed right now. The thought of going out right now is just like so overwhelming. I'm feeling exhausted. I don't know if I can do this anymore.
If you felt any of those at any time, I know exactly how you're feeling because I've been there. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I got out of my stay-at-home mom burnout. So stick around. Hey beautiful mama, welcome to Mom for Every Season. If you are brand new, I'm Taryn, and I just want to say thank you so much for clicking on this video. I know as moms, our time is so valuable, so I just want to say thank you for taking the time out of your day to click on this video and watch it. Of course, this video is going to be about stay-at-home mom burnout, really any type of mom burnout, because of course working mothers as well, or work-at-home moms can get burnout too. I'm just sharing from my perspective as a stay-at-home mom. But all the tips are valuable in any type of motherhood. Okay, and my favorite part of this whole video is that it is in collaboration with Dancee over at Fearless Momma. I am in love with her channel. She shares so much insight and wisdom about motherhood mindset and motivation and inspiration. And I just really love her vibe. She's just very organic, and you can just tell she's just like the biggest sweetheart. So definitely check out her video after you're done with mine, and you can get some more insight on mom burnout, a little bit about my journey with mom burnout. And the reason for sharing my journey is just that I believe it helps hear other moms' journeys because it gives you a sense of hope. You know that because someone else has gone through it and they've gotten to the other side, it gives you that sense of hope, especially if you're in like the muck or like the trenches of motherhood right now, that it does get better. And I hope that if anything you gain from this video, that just know that it does get better and it can get better. So take that little bit of hope and trust the process, because even though we go through certain, you could say negative places, there's always growth and learning in that as well. I have an almost 7-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old, and I would definitely say I felt the most burnt out transitioning from 2 to 3 kids. It was just like so much more, and we had actually just moved to a new town, so I almost felt a little bit more isolated. So for me, the worst part about being burnt out was the fact that I didn't feel like myself, and I almost had like a sense of rage. And I would just remember I would try and get my youngest to sleep, to nap, and then he would wake her up, and I would just feel so angry, and I would snap at him. And then of course when you snap at your children, then you get mom guilt, and it's just this like vicious circle. So I knew at that point I had to do something. I had to fix this. And it wasn't their fault. It's, our kids are not our excuses. They're not like our pain points. They are our reasons. And I had to take a really hard look at myself and move forward from that, and just know that I needed to do something for me to be able to, and not, it's not selfish to have self-care. It's important that as a mom, we take that time for ourselves. I actually wanted to read just an excerpt from one of my journals that I wrote in last year. This one is dated February 19th, so just over a year ago. So I feel so lost in motherhood lately. Some days feel heavier than others. Some days I feel extra snappy and less myself. And some days I don't even recognize myself anymore. I hate to say it because I absolutely love my kiddos with all my heart, but some days I feel trapped. And then here's just one more from June that I wrote, where I wrote, motherhood, an almighty badge of honor on one side of the coin, and then constantly striving for more identity on the other side. Grasping at what's left, or grasping for more so you don't drown in motherhood or get lost. Loving every moment on the ride, and also hoping for moments to yourself. Hanging on to what's left of yourself. So in my burnout, I definitely felt lost in motherhood. Like I felt like a piece of myself was missing. Because I mean, there's just so much that goes into taking care of children, and you just pour into them. But then when you are left and you have nothing left to give, like, you just feel stuck and feel overwhelmed. And I felt disconnected from myself. I didn't even know what I liked anymore. Like, besides the fact that I was a mother, it was like really the only thing that I had left of my identity. I had no other aspect left. I'm going to share with you what I did to help get out of mom burnout. Okay, tip number 1 is for when you are right in that moment of, feeling overwhelmed or feeling like you're snapping at your kids or in that burnt out moment and you need something. This is just going to sound, it's so simple, but it is so helpful. But it's just coming back to your breath and getting really in that present moment, maybe looking around at the sights around you, your body sensations, and just coming back to that present moment. It's like, it's so simple, but it like literally takes you out of that negative mindset. Just taking a deep breath, pausing for a second, and then just coming back to whatever you're doing. And if you find yourself, again, kind of getting into that negative mind space or negative self-talk, just coming back to that breath and focusing on what's going on right now and right in this moment. Okay, tip number 2 is self-care. And this is what has helped me the most. I would not be in this place right now if I did not make myself a priority. And to make it easy, because again, I feel like when you feel like you need to like make this big life change, like you want to eat better and start working out and take time for yourself and start reading, like if you think of all the things you need to do, that in itself can get overwhelming. So I use this acronym called HEART-C, and I use this acronym to just pick one area that you need to focus on and just chunk it into 2 or 3 months at a time. So to make it easy, it stands for H is hydration, so trying to drink more water. E is eating, so your nutrition and just focusing on, really nourishing your body. A is activity, so obviously activity, working out, exercising. R is rest, so focusing on how much sleep you get, going to bed earlier, waking up earlier, that kind of thing. T is tranquility or stillness, so just really getting still, maybe journaling, meditating, praying, really connecting to your soul, yourself. And then C is creativity, picking something you can do for fun or something that you've always wanted to do or something you love to do. Maybe you want to take an art class or dance class. Maybe you just love being outdoors, whatever that is. So in terms of self-care, just looking at picking one of those areas and working on it for the next 2 to 3 months. And then once that's really instilled into your habits, then moving forward and then picking another area. So for me personally, I was working on more of the rest and getting up earlier, which actually has kind of flowed into other areas because I am waking up earlier and going to bed earlier. I'm taking that time to meditate and taking that time to journal before my kids get up, which has just made me really feel more connected to myself and kind of given me a little bit more purpose, and I can reflect, and sometimes it's like hard conversations with myself and really reflecting on that or journaling. So if you are feeling overwhelmed in the whole self-care aspect, then just picking one of those. To be a great mom, you need to be a great you, which means you have to take care of yourself and make yourself a priority first. And to fill your cup first before, I always like to say that I like to make my own business, take care of my own business first before I take on anyone else's business that day. And I've made myself a priority in the mornings. Number 3 is to connect with other moms and just getting that support and being able to get out of the house. Because I feel like when I transitioned from 2 to 3, this is definitely one of the reasons I had some mom burnout, because I tended to kind of like isolate myself. The actual thought of leaving the house left me feeling overwhelmed. It was overwhelming to get my children ready. It was overwhelming to get out of the house and be ready. And it was kind of a vicious circle because I didn't want to go out because I felt so overwhelmed with having to get them ready and getting them out the door, that, you know, I didn't go out and then I felt more isolated, and it just continued. And when I had my first, I actually had a support group, and I was able to, we met weekly, and that was just a huge factor into my mental health. And I didn't have that so much the third time around, and I definitely regret not getting out of the house more and being able to connect and talk and share and, you know, learn from other moms. And so if you are feeling trapped in your home, like pushing yourself to get out of the house, even if it's just for a walk with one other mom, or like, I know there's different support groups, like here we have something called Parent Link, like looking for other activities, even if you're signing up for, maybe your kids are going to do a library class or a music class and stuff, and just being able to get out of the house and be social and not feeling trapped in your house will do wonders for your mental health. Tip number 4 is just getting outside. So get outside, even if you are just sitting in the sun, of course will help with vitamin D and help, you know, just feel good. And of course, getting out for a walk can get those endorphins going and also helps with your mental health. Tip number 5, and this one I had to really come to terms with, but I know that for some moms, that the state of their home, like how clean it is or how organized it is, can be another kind of overwhelming aspect of their life. So for me, I had to come to the terms with, I either was going to take, you know, myself a priority, or I was going to have a clean house, but I could not have both. And so I either had to, 1, get a house cleaner, or, you know, 2, just accept the fact that yes, in this stage of life, my house is going to be a little messy and a little less organized than I like. So if you can either do one of the 2 of those things, but making sure you're a priority, and because you matter more, and you can't, the thing is about house cleaning and house organizing is that you can delegate all of that. You can ask for help. If you know, ask your partner for help, or hire a cleaner, or maybe see if your parents can help, because that is the thing. You can delegate that, but you cannot delegate your self-care, and you cannot delegate stuff for you. It's not like you can say, hey, husband, can you take this bubble bath for me, or can you journal for me? You can't. It's just like not gonna happen. Guys, you matter, mama. Like, you are worth it, and you deserve that time. And you need that time. Okay, so tip number 6, I believe we're on, is to do something that you love. Like, fall in love with something. And whether that is an art class, or, you know, maybe you want to try bullet journaling, or just something fun. Or maybe even having a YouTube channel could be an idea. Because I know for me personally, having this channel gives me a sense of purpose and allows me to have a creative outlet as well. And this sense of purpose is something outside of my family. It's something that drives me, and because I love being able to help and inspire and serve other moms. And because of course, as a stay-at-home mom, you are constantly pouring into others and giving, and you get lost in that, and you get lost in motherhood, and you feel like you don't have a sense of purpose. I mean, of course, motherhood is like the most important job in the world. But as a stay-at-home mom, when you are constantly wiping bums and, you know, wiping runny noses and feeding and clothing and bathing and stuff like that, you get lost and it feels heavy. So just finding something that you truly love, and you can journal about this and just ask yourself, what do you desire? What are you craving right now? What's something fun you can do for you? And just see what comes up. Just doing stream of consciousness writing and really diving deeper into it. And because we can find out a lot about ourselves just through play alone and having fun. Okay, so I hope you found this video helpful, and in the comments down below, I would love to know, what are you craving? What are you desiring? Is there something fun that you would like to try? Let me know in the comments, and tell me what your favorite tip was. And don't forget to check out Dancee's video in the description box down below. I'm sure she has so much insight on mom burnout as well. If you're brand new, I would love for you to stick around and hit that red subscribe button and that little bell notification. I post videos on motherhood and mom motivation and inspiration. And I always like to end my videos with, in case you haven't heard this today, you are an amazing mom and you got this, mama. So that's it for now. Bye for now.